What is going on, Roland Empire here, guys, to give you a review, a video of, so to speak. Now, we are going to start out with The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2, or The Way You See It, Chapter 10. Technically, they're called Chapter 10, so it's a, progression of the story. It finally came out. I finally was able to check it out, give my thoughts and opinions on it. This is the follow-up after seeing, Boba Fett be reintroduced. At least that's what we thought. At least that's what we thought. Now, we're going to continue, is that going to continue that story, or we should know by now what the Mandalorian is, or we're going to get these side projects, or we also still going to go on to the main narrative of the story, which we still got Gideon, so we have to watch out for Gideon just to see how Mandalorian really reacts to him like that. So it was interesting to see. And to start out with this, you start out with Tatooine at first, and you're like, okay, so we're still going to continue on with that process. For me, I had no problems. The narrative was going to be like, oh, okay, so we're going to take a little bit more time with this. I know a lot of people won't be fans, but I will be enjoying it if it makes sense. But no, it was just kind of like an introduction again. It's like, we still have to have a little bit of, oh yeah, the bounty hunters still kind of want to hunt for Yoda and Mando and so to speak. But these look like they were more local rather than the ones that were trying to look for him. But either way, it was a nice way to kind of feel like, oh yeah, we're still going to have that kind of thing to deal with still. But it was just really just to kind of warm you up. It was nice. Just, you're like, yeah, he's not gonna give any of this stuff up. He had a plan, and he had a plan. So that was a nice little introduction. And then we go back to Ripley, and Ripley's now kind of, it's too convenient, but it's kind of telling her, oh, we have this plot now for you to do, and whatever gets Mando going, you're like, okay, we'll do this. And it was an interesting way. They introduced this character that, it's enough to just be like, okay, they're just a passenger, okay? They're just called a passenger. And I probably didn't know where these Mandalorians are that he's trying to look for. So then they embark on this kind of thing that, she's got all these kind of, her prodigies with her. And that's the thing that was like, he can't go hyperspeed. So, okay, there's a reason to give people kind of an adversity to come through, but we're like, let's see how this episode plays out. And then as we go on throughout the whole thing, I'm like, oh, okay, so it's gonna have to be leading into, how do you put this, like, it's gonna be another side quest. It's gonna be like a side quest kind of thing. And it's just curious to see, okay, where's it gonna take us and stuff. So yeah, they end up, getting pursued by these resistance leaders, which I will say the action sequence that they had was nice. That was a nice sequence that I really did like. Wasn't one of the standouts, definitely from the episode. I'm not too familiar with one of the guys, but I kind of, because I'm leading on, because I was like, but Filoni came back. Filoni, it's nice to see that man. So it was nice to see him get a little cameo in this kind of sense. And yeah, they had that thing. Then he crashes on this planet. It looks like Hoth or something. He crashes first, but then they submerge more further, and we're like, oh, okay, so, obstacles within obstacles. And yeah, man, it's just like the ship's getting too damaged. I was like, when is it gonna be not that situation where it's just gonna be a nice little kind of thing going on? But it is what it is. I'm still letting it I'm really enjoying the whole atmosphere look. The atmosphere look really is what really was driving it for me in this episode. And then after that, there's this, Yoda's trying to get to the reptiles, prodigies, and all that. And it's funny and all, but because of what the stakes are, I'm just like, I'm not sure you should be doing this right now. And it's nice. I'm like, okay, it's still cute and it's, adorable, but, there's a stake going on. But then, as it goes on, it's kind of that kind of, it's very like, you're not helping to the cause situation. I get it that this is a matter, but still, like, the reptile goes on, tries to look for like a jacuzzi. Mando's like, we gotta come back. And through that whole process, since Yoda's really obsessed with eating these things, he sees some that are just in there, and he's like, fine, I'll just settle with these ones, and that kind of stuff. And then you realize as it starts kind of building, or like, oh, okay, it's one of those. Like, it becomes basically what I thought it was like Harry Potter. It's like, becomes a Harry Potter scene. And then, yeah, Mando has to get everybody out. They go chase back and stuff. The whole progression of the action sequence, really, I did like. I like how it was all kind of planned and, revealed. So I really like all that stuff presented. And it felt jarring, though. Like, it felt jarring because I feel like I was watching, like, Harry Potter. It was like a Harry Potter scene. But I took it as it was. So it's just like, let me see what this all pays off. So, yeah. I was wondering, why doesn't he use the flamethrower? He uses the flamethrower until the part where they get to the main driving portion of the ship, but it's fine. You just gotta make some dramatic. It's all basically just dramatic effect. and then after that, they finally get through, and but then once they about to leave, the big one just finally crushes the ship down, and like they can't get out, and then people just start shooting. You're like, who's doing this? Like trying to help them out and all that. Who are these people? I'm like, this might lead on to something. This might be the key component of this episode, and it's still fine. What we got is the resistance people. Those are Republic resistance people still. They came back, felt like it was maybe a bit of a redemption, just to be like, we're not that bad. We're not that bad, so to speak. But Mando's like, oh, you're gonna help me. I was like, you gotta find your own way out. So okay, so it's a nice ideology, if that's what it's called, ideology of how this kind of works. But yeah, it was nice to know, sort of, also some exposition or dialogue to see what he's done, what he's being wanted for, what he has done good. It was a nice little kind of catch up, or like a catch up, so to speak. But still, like, and then overall, though, he does what he can, and then eventually, he does fix the ship, and it's as best as they can, as best as they can to get out and all that. And they finally, they linger on to where they're supposed to might be going, where they're supposed to go. That's what it looks like. It's supposedly, that's how it ended. But yeah, this was an episode that was like, okay, I already knew by the time. It was like a little bit more condensed, but we've had shorter episodes. There's enough to fill for an episode. But realizing after what it was becoming, I was like, this felt really, at least in a sense, a beat for beat again, where like episode 2 was more quiet. But episode 2 in season 1, I like there was still like some kind of development. In this one, there was development for the season 2 one. But yeah, I gotta admit, like, I still see the overall picture. Like, I could say there was filler, but I know enough that they're like, okay, it might pay off. Hello, did you guys see me when I said about episode 5? This might be the case with episode 2, but we'll see. As it right now, you think you wanted more after seeing what happened in the first episode, but as a second episode, it was nice to chill. But now we want to know, where's it going to go on? Is the story going to pick up? And we have it pick up now, and just see what are these entanglements? The entanglements that are we going to get with Boba and Gideon, and that's what I'm seeing from Mando. But we'll see. Like, at least what I really enjoyed was the whole the look of it, the choreograph of the action sequences. I really did enjoy that, and it's nice. It's nice to just get any kind of Yoda and Mando kind of, just development, just like a development that's really gonna possibly need it. That's probably what was a purpose of this episode. But I wanted to take more of this. I'm curious now. There are still beats of like similarities that's going on. I was like, okay, we're getting too many similarities. Like, it's now like sort of rehab, but it's still refreshing where I can still get something new out of it. I still did enjoy the stuff. I still did enjoy the whole, like, just the spectacle of the episode. But I want to see also more of, like, what are the characters now. Curious to know how are these characters going to be taken. Okay, it was a nice development, but now let's get the whole main course of the story. But yeah, if it was a ranking, it could be in my lower episodes. We'll see. It might be in the lower, depending how it plays out. It could be in my higher episodes, depending, most definitely how it plays out. If it plays out to a big art, so to speak. But it was enjoyable. It was just an enjoyable episode, guys. Let me know, guys, what you thought of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2. Did you guys hate it? Did you guys love it? These are just my thoughts and opinions, guys. Okay, yeah. I liked it. Yeah, I really did like it, It was enjoyable. It was definitely enjoyable. But yeah, let's just see if we can get more. But for right now, it was an enjoyable episode, okay? So I liked it in that sense. So all this in the comments below, guys. And as always, roll an empire, laugh, smile, repeat.